being Wednesday. Okay, today we are supposed to look at. We are looking at. Okay, we are looking at Ruby modules. We want to see what, how do we use modules? How do we create them? When do we use them? And how can we use them? Okay. So what are modules in Ruby? Any ideas before I begin? Any other definition apart from that one? Maybe I confused you guys, but you believed. Okay, Misa. Yes, Misa.
Are you still muted?
No, it's muted. I'm just listening.
Nope, I can't hear you. Oh, Misa, you are talking.
Yeah. In Python, a module is the same as a library. It's a collection of files and other.
The same as a library?
Yeah.
It's the same as a library.
Collection of files that maybe works as a unit.
That's a particular point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like gems in Ruby. Yeah. It's not the same as?
A module.
A module?
Yeah.
No, in Ruby that's called a gem.
Do you have classes in Python?
Yes.
And
You talked about classes in Ruby.
Yes. We have classes.
Oh, but there's a good question which I can also answer. What's the difference between? Because a gem also is a library that has some particular behaviors, such that you install it to use some functionality that the gem does. Though a gem may contain, let me say, a collection of different things. Modules is only methods and constants. Yeah. But a library can be, a library can have a collection of what? Okay, let's start from that. What's a gem? We have said it's a library. What can a library contain? Assuming backend, what do you think a gem, what is it a collection of? Assuming now I am in the like backend where I was defining my gem somewhere. For example, which gem can we use?
you have
You want to do what? We just want to understand the difference between a gem and a module. Yeah. Yeah, for example, datetime. Datetime as a library. Oh, it comes predefined, yeah?
For the datetime picker, if you want a datetime picker integrated into Bootstrap, you can have a library that does that for you. It integrates a picker for you when you're using Bootstrap, or maybe you're using Foundation or whatever you're doing. That's a library that does that. There's another library of gems. So there's another gem that does log out registration for you in your application.
and you have something like
So math is like now it's let me not talk much. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm searching for math on the Ruby docs. Let me see. If you go to the Ruby docs and just a minute. Do I need to share my screen? Not really. So if you go to the Ruby docs and check on math, it's a module.
So it's a module.
Yes, in Ruby.
For you guys, it's
Okay, a library can
Let
have.
me.
This is a library.
I wanted to say, just to correct a bit, module in Python is a file containing the definitions, methods, and the variables. And the module name is the file name. So maybe the math module we have, it is called math.py. You check. Yeah, so that's why we were talking about Django yesterday, I don't know if you can remember. When we were importing models, the models was the module, and the file name was models. That's why we said from models import the class name, which was item.
So you can have inbuilt module and user defined module.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can have this.
Is module the same as library?
It's not.
What is it?
A library is a library. A library is I think a library is a collection of modules per se. Like Django. Like Django.
Django is a framework.
Django, yeah, it's a framework. I don't know how to define a library in short.
An example.
A library is not a module.
So you think Django is a framework?
It's a web framework. I don't know. I think
No,
it's a library.
it can be a library.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in Rails, in Ruby, Rails is a gem that allows you to create a Rails application.
Yeah.
But again, Ruby on Rails is a framework.
Just like so, I think it's a library is a collection of modules where inside the library per se Django, we have the Django.db, the .contrib, all those.
Yeah, in a library, meaning apart from the methods, there are other things like maybe, for example, styling. Maybe if you use a particular library, when you do something, it comes with the styling and stuff.
Like you've created your first Ruby on Rails app. Your first Django app is working.
Okay. So, as you have said, a module is like a collection of methods or constants. The difference between a class and a module, because if I say it's a collection of methods and constants, a class also can have those, yeah? The difference is just that a module usually has a particular behavior. We define a module when we want to like, if we wanted to add a particular behavior. There are two different behaviors. A behavior is like, which example? Let me go to Rails. For example, like the one for, let me talk about if you want to do like the rendering. There's a module just that has the methods that does the rendering. So that's the behavior. If you include it in your app, you are able to use like the render method and stuff. There can be another module, maybe the one for, I can use Flash. Okay, let me do this. Let me use an existing
Welcome, Boniface.
project.
Karibu Pira.
Okay, I'm just currently what I'm doing. I'm in the Rails console. I just want to check. I'm in Pry.
It's Pry.
What is Pry?
Yeah,
Right.
nimesahau.
It's just a Ruby interpreter, just with some added styling and stuff. Is it? Okay. Let me actually, I should be in console. This is not working, right? Rails console. Command not found. Oh. I'm in local support. What's happening? Another app. Is there some other Rails app here? Okay. Meanwhile, as that we can continue. So a module is just a collection of methods and constants. The only difference with the class is that you cannot instantiate a module. So like I was saying, the example here, like what this second paragraph was talking about, use a module when you wanted to add a particular functionality or behavior. If you had different behaviors, but you don't want to define one class with all those functionalities, you can define different modules to handle that, such that you just include them on different classes. Okay, if you are creating a module, use the module keyword. Class, use the class keyword, yeah? Like you can see this one. The only difference with the class here is the module keyword. Any questions after that point? Okay. Module use. So if you want to use a module, you have defined your module somewhere. Actually, let me so let me go to Pry. Define a module. Let's call it Dina. So I have a module, Dina. Let me try instantiating it, like creating an object. What are we expecting? Any ideas? Which error? Dina.
Go on. Okay. Undefined method new for dinner module.
Boom. Awesome. So you can see this is a module. We cannot instantiate it. We can confirm that by, if I go to get. I want to go to a new tab. Is there Firefox here? I wanted to go for a new browser and just show you the module class. Oh. I just wanted to show you why we were getting that error in the terminal. It's saying a defined method for module class, yeah. So I wanted to go to the documentation, Ruby docs, show the module class. Then you'll notice that we don't have the new method. Do you have Firefox? Boom. Oh, thank you. Meanwhile, yeah. Ruby doc. So if we go to the Ruby doc, we want the module class. Then on this side, usually there are, So this is the module class, yeah? We have a new here, ASA. So we have, you can see, let me just click it. So this is a instance method, meaning it got it from?
Let me start doing my guesswork.
Hmm.
You can click on the new. Where's the new?
Here it is.
Okay. No, this is not an instance method. It creates an anonymous module. So you can, this is called on the module.
When you are creating
When you're
them,
creating a module, you can do module.new, but you can't call .new on a module instance.
yeah.
You can only call it on the module.
So you can do
Module.new.
so with our module, we can do this. Oh no, we can't do this. See, we have a module on the module. Oh, we can do it on the module class itself. Like, oh, now I get it. The way we usually do class.new. If I'm creating a class, I can do this to create a class, yeah? Instead of doing class keyword, class name, I can create a class this way and just test stuff with it. So same as module. If you do this, this is the module class itself. Yeah. Okay, but if I have let me create an object. Did I create one? So yeah, actually, this one here is like we were creating an object. We were creating an object. We were trying to instantiate the dinner module. That's why it was refusing. Mejirudia. Okay, let me continue. So if you want to use a module, you can use the include. It's actually a method or a keyword or prepend. So if you have a class and you want to use a module in the class, you can either use include or prepend. I'll show you next how the difference between these two. So when you include a module in a class, they usually call it is like you're mixing in. They're called mixins or a mixin, yeah. So we have an example here. So here we have a module, Meetup. We have the method, this one here. Oops. Yeah, we have the method there, Ruby Meetup. Then we have a class body. We are including the module we defined. So including this module means we are expecting if you create an instance of body, this method here should be available. Okay, let me do that by so module music. Let me say I have a method saying this. Ooh la la. Okay. So I have a module music, then I have a class. Want to include the module we have defined using the include keyword. Then So we have a module, music. We have a class, Mise. But I want to add a behavior. I'm adding this module here. So I'm expecting if I create an instance of Mise class, yeah, now I have an object. Now if I call, what are we expecting? Any ideas? So what I've done here, we have a module here. Then we have our class here. Then we have included this modular property or behavior in this class. So it means all the methods that we'll be defining here will be available here in this class. So if I create an instance of class Mise or an object, all these methods here will be available too. So if I call a.sing, I'm expecting this output here. Is that even sing? Which song is this? Okay. Okay.
Okay, I have a question. Why is it returning nil?
Good question. Any ideas? Why is it returning nil? Okay. Any ideas? It's yes, Getty.
A common answer is always topic for another day, but I think
Yes.
today you must.
When we use puts, it will always return nil. Puts return value is always nil.
Awesome. The good thing we have, let's just go here. We are already Logidoc. There is, let me go back again. There's a method puts. Yeah. So you can see here, we have the puts here. It's a method, then whatever you pass it there, and its return value will always be nil. So it writes the given object to the iOS, like the shell or something, writes a new line after any that do not already end with a new line sequence and returns nil. Yes, Boniface, are you answered?
Yeah, I'm answered.
Okay, awesome. So, I think I've talked about this one. We are creating a module here. Then we have a class. We are including the module just to make this behavior method available in the class. Creating an instance, meaning all the instances of Podi will have the behaviors that of this module here. Okay, then there is this story here. So mixing in a module bears a strong resemblance to inheriting from a superclass. So just this bit here, the first line. So assuming I have, let me just use the already, okay. Or let me just redefine another one. Def grid. Goodness. Hey there. So I have a class A, then I have a class B that this time inherits from A. And so B inherits from A, meaning it inherits all the methods, yeah, from A here. So if I create an instance of class B, I create that instance and call the method greet, being that you're inheriting everything that is in here. This will be available in the class B. So I'm expecting this output here. So that's what, yes, Misa?
The less than sign.
Oh. Yeah, so in Ruby, this one, we use this for inheriting. Yeah, so you can notice, yeah, so that line was saying there is a small resemblance because the way inheritance and modules work. But there is a difference being that you can't inherit multiple classes, but you can mix in more than one module. Somebody who has ever tried mixing or inheriting more classes, multiple inheritance. So, assuming I have okay, let me use the class A as, okay, so assuming, let me inherit from A, there was Misa somewhere. Yeah, and end. Let's see, boom. So superclass must be a class, nil class given. Superclass must be a class, nil class given. So our class, the class we are defining is D, then we were doing like multiple that. So there is this and there is this. I'm trying to understand this error. So I was inheriting from, we have A here and this here. Miss that class. Expecting okay.
The weird thing here is that controller is trying to inherit multiple times from A and from Mise, but the error is the superclass must be a class, nil class given. So it's not making sense why it's saying that it's being given a nil class.
Still good.
I think yes. I think I am understanding the error maybe. Okay. Okay,
sorry,
before
sorry. What if you do A less than Mise?
for another class.
Yeah, then do that and less than.
So we have a class.
No. Just
So
do
let me
write
just
A
do this.
less than Mise. Enter. Yeah. So it interpreted the A less than Mise first. I'm not sure. Can you try class B
So,
inherit from me? If we then
so
see if the
class
error message is the
B
same.
inheriting from nil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it interpreted that first.
Yeah. So it's like when we are doing inheritance, it looks for this. It's what is after this sign, evaluates it, then it found that it's a nil. Its value is nil. Then it's like we are inheriting from nil. Yes, Getty.
Will it be the same if you do class D inherits from A? And then
And
later on do class D
if we
inherits
do,
from A? Class D.
so we are reopening a class. Inherits from? Yes.
There was an error. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Oh.
Yeah, you know about that?
So is it? It's a superclass error.
Something not matching.
Yeah, it's a
Superclass not
superclass.
matching.
Yeah,
Okay,
superclass not matching. It's a superclass error. Boom. Yeah, so there is a superclass mismatch for class D. Initially, we told it you're inheriting from A. Then this time is like you are reopening, but now we are telling it you're inheriting from this.
Okay, just for me to understand.
Kevin, what if you reopen and inherit from the same A?
Ha.
What happens?
So if I
Okay.
yes,
Sorry,
sir.
Gone.
Oh, thank you. So, okay, my question, the way I'm seeing that, the way I was looking at it, I'm like, which one is the grandfather of who and which one is the ancestor of who? Because I'm seeing the matches. For instance, when you're trying to inherit from A and A is a nil class,
Oh,
there is nothing there. So,
so
what properties rather would it be inheriting? So, probably,
okay, A was this one here. A is here.
yeah.
A is here. Then what we were trying here is that we are telling D that inherits from A, this one.
Yeah, which is, let me say, the superclass.
Yeah, this one here.
Mm, yeah.
So like in this case, so A is a superclass of D.
Of D, yeah.
Then this time, we have a class D already.
Mm-hmm.
We already have
Which
a
is
class D.
inheriting from A. Which is inheriting
So,
from A.
which
Yeah.
is already inheriting from A.
Yeah.
But this time now we are telling it, you are inheriting from me. So when we do this, actually, it goes to, it checks if like already class D exists. So it like checks, then it finds my superclass is A.
Mm.
But here, and then it's like we are giving it another superclass. Then it's saying there's a mismatch because D knows that its superclass is A,
Is A,
and
yeah.
and not me.
So A is the ancestor of D.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, if you do A dot ancestors,
Yeah,
there is that.
is it the ancestor or the superclass? It's the superclass.
Good one.
Yes, it is
Okay.
the ancestor, but
Let
the
me try.
superclass.
Just try
Because
ancestor. Just try ancestor. We see what happens.
Yeah, there is
Yeah, we see what
that.
happens. Yeah, there. So no, let's just
Oh, actually, I'll explain actually this output.
mm.
Yeah, just we'll talk about this one. This the return value here.
Mm.
Okay, so any questions up to this point? Hey, actually, I'm in the second slide. Okay. Okay, we are moving fine. So no class can inherit from more than one class, which we have tried out. And if you want numerous extra behaviors for class instances without putting them in a superclass, now here is where a module comes in. So like, for example, I was giving an example of rendering, flash. If you have different behaviors, instead of them being in one class, and every time inheriting from that class, you can just be including the different behaviors when you need them. Yeah. Okay. Modules open possibilities, particularly for sharing code. I think I've talked about this. So module encapsulation, this is just encapsulation is just bundling things, things that are related together. So like we have a module account. We have a register method, a login method, logout. All these are related to an account. Yeah. So so for example, you can see this module has its behavior. It's only contains behaviors dealing with account or properties dealing with that account. Yeah. So for example, if I have now a user.
Just a minute.
Yes.
Just a minute, Kevin. So if is this module encapsulation the same as namespacing? Or you'll talk about that later.
Namespacing. Yeah, actually, encapsulation and namespace is the same thing, because namespace is like this talks about or this module does this specific stuff. Yeah. So encapsulation and namespacing is actually goes hand in hand, is like the same thing.
Okay, because what I know about namespacing is that when you have a module account, then you have register. Okay. every time you say account register, we are sure it is the register for account. If you have another method called register in another module, then it will be in a different namespace, probably doing a different thing, but it's still called register. So that's what namespacing does, and it's probably what this encapsulation is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sigu. Okay. This place here, we are mixing a module into a class. I think we talked about this, though there is this bit here. Just assuming my file was, where am I? Assuming if you have, I have two different files. I have the module, which maybe I call maybe account creation. Then now I have the other file where I'm defining my class. So if I want the module available to that, require relative just, it searches for that file relative to the directory in which I am in. So if I'm in the root directory and have my two files, require relative will check for a file called this in the file where I have this one here. So here is like I've required the file, like account creation, assume it's this one here. Then here is now my class. I've included the account module. Then notice here I've created an instance of user class, calling the register and the login on it. But this register and login method are in the account module. Then I can test this. So I have a class A. Oh, I have a module. Clarify, yes, Crafty. I can't hear you.
I think all modules are encapsulated unless we include it in another class. That's when they can use the other class.
If you say they're encapsulated, you mean?
As in, there is no way you can use methods in this module in another module unless you include them in the other module.
But again, if you have two modules that have the register name, the register method, okay, and okay, just keep on typing. If you have two modules that have the register method, okay, how and both modules are included into one class, how will you know which register to call? If you want to call register for module A, then you should be able to say A register or B register. Now that's namespacing. So if I want to call register for A, I do specifically A register. Now this module as it is, it does not really namespace this method, because the moment you include it, the register will be called straight, or the login will be called straight from the user class that is being created. Now you can namespace by having a module inside a module. So you can have module A, then module B, then inside that you do that.
You can have module A and module B inside module A.
Okay, now that is now module namespacing.
Oh,
yeah, now okay. That's namespacing. Seems we won't cover it today. Probably on the next meetup, probably we'll cover module namespacing. Probably.
Thank you.
Okay, so yes, Misa. Yeah.
Okay. A class cannot inherit from more than one class.
Yes. A class cannot inherit from more than. Yeah.
So here, you created a module, and what is the name of the module? The one that has register.
Oh, it's account. This one. You're talking of this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So if this was the only module I
Yeah.
is there any need for it? Like you could create a class.
Yeah. If actually, if it's only one module, then no need. But if there were many modules, because they're doing different things, yeah, then now you can define modules, just separate them. Okay, so here I was getting a module A. We have this method here and this one here.
I
Then
have a question.
Yes, Boniface.
I'm seeing the module mostly they're taking static methods. Is it like can you use an instance variable or rather an instance of a method to like manipulate within the modules?
You're saying they're taking static methods.
I'm just saying, yeah, the mostly static methods when you're doing the encapsulation.
Static methods like?
Can you go back? There's the methods which can just be used within that module account.
Okay, Boniface.
Yeah.
I think what we have on your screen right now, it's an account module, okay? The moment you include this account module, it becomes an instance method. Is that making sense? So register is now an instance method on the class that you included it in.
Oh, okay. As long as it's a module, it's an instance of
No,
that
if you
module.
include it, it will be an instance method. Yeah.
Okay.
So doing what you have done here, include A, is just like assume these methods, you define them inside here. Assume, if we include A, it's like now these methods here, they're inside here. Yeah. Okay, so meaning instances of this class user will be able to use these methods. Like we can create an instance of user and now call these methods. You can see the instances of user have these, can respond to these messages, or these methods are available to instances of class user. Any questions here? Okay. I think the module you've talked about that. So what really happens when we do? So here I have a module X with this method. I have a class A. I've included this module. Then I have a class B inheriting from this class A, which includes module X. Then I'm creating now an object B. I've created an object here, then I'm calling this. So this is just like the method lookup, how it will go. So the first thing is that, or the flow of now how this, because it like from here is like now we are backtracking, yeah? From the greet method, we are now, it's like we're backtracking. Oh, where am I? So the first thing, if we have created an instance of B, then we are calling greet on the instance. So the first thing is like, does the class B have this instance greet? We can see the class B doesn't have any methods, yeah? But so first thing it will check, B, the class B has no any instance methods, yeah? Next, it's B inherits from A, yeah? But though after checking for the instance methods and finds there's nothing, it then checks if there are any modules. If there are no modules, like in this case, yeah, we don't have modules. Then if there is no module, then where is this grid? Okay. If it's not available as an instance method, it's not available as in any module, then now it checks, does B then have any superclass? Then it finds, yes, there's a superclass B inherits from A. Then it now goes to class A and checks, does A now have the instance method grid? It finds it's not defined in A. Yeah. Then it checks now if A now has a module, and it finds it has a module. And does that module have the grid method? It finds it is there. Then now that is what is. If it finds it, it executes the method, it then gives us the output.
What if it's not there in the module?
Okay. Now, if it's not there in the module, it now checks for class A. It checks if class A now has a superclass. Does class A have a superclass?
No. Let's assume class A doesn't have, just like it doesn't.
It doesn't have, but it has. Yeah?
Yeah.
Class A doesn't
Which is
have.
the object?
It doesn't have, but it has.
Which is the object?
Which is the object.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So it goes probably. So if you define a class like this, class A, its superclass is usually the object. So if the method is not here, then it goes to now the object class. Same process checks if the method is in the object class. If it's not in the object class, it goes to the object. Usually, the object has a module called kernel. Now it checks in the kernel module. If it's not in the kernel module, checks for the object class if it has a superclass, which is the basic object. And the basic object has some very few methods. Yeah, so when it reaches there, actually, getItTalkTalk method missing. When it reaches there and finds that method is still not there. Actually, if it reaches there and checks for it there and it's not there, then it calls method missing. That's how you get now that output, that undefined method, what, after going all that way. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Stacy?
Whatever it will get, the methods it will get in the hierarchy, it will, not in the hierarchy for the basic object, but the hierarchy from inheritance, it will put us.
So from the way we have been going, if it gets it there, then that is what it puts us.
I'm saying,
yes.
In our example, A has, okay, leave A. B does not have any method, right?
Yeah.
So I'm asking that if object with one new B, C, you've called B. For object, you've instantiated B for object one. And then now if it gets a method there, for example, if we had just said put S object, or it can't work like that.
So it's like asking if we had a method in class B.
Yeah.
If we had a method in class B with the same method named greet, yeah? Yes? I'm not getting the question, right?
I'm saying we have...
So we have an object, object one, yeah?
Yeah, object one.
Yes.
And then it's an instance.
It's an instance of B.
Yeah, and then we want to, in B we had done some magic there. We had methods.
Yes.
Now if we wanted output, right? At the end we want to put S something. And then, okay.
I think soil is like in our class B we have a put S something.
Yeah. So we will it like come out as output?
Oh, I think I get you. So, from our we have instantiated B, yeah? But our method, the method we are calling on our instance is greet. So when it goes to class B, the method it was looking for is greet, yeah. So the method it was looking for was only greet. We were not. You putes actually is like another method. So how can I explain this? I'm getting your question. So it's like in class B, we have a putes something.
Yeah.
So you're asking if we call .greet, that putes will also be part of the output. Yeah. Oh, Getty?
I'm thinking what she's asking is, if we have a method in class B, what this will happen, what this will do is, I won't have to go up on my method lookup part to look for the method greet. I already have it in my class B. And then this object one equals b.new. I'm creating a new instance of B. So if I already have my method there, I just call object one dot greet. It will put us whatever is in the definition.
Actually, we can, let me try out in that. I think I know because I'm seeing you're not answered. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I was almost going to ask what is the likely output. So just go ahead and do it.
okay, so I have a module there. Yeah. Okay. Let me call it P. Yeah. Just something. And I have a class. Let me have that. Are you there? Okay. Just anything. Then we have another class, C, that inherits from B. Oh. Okay. That inherits from B. Let me include this module here. Then I put S, blah, blah, blah. And then I create an instance of C, yeah? Then let me call any method, yeah? Like I want P. So according to you, you're asking if this will be part of my output, yes? So, yes. Oh, power. Hey. Okay, so any ideas? Any ideas? Will this be part of the output? Yes or no? Yeah?
It will be.
Yeah.
By the way, will it be or not? Puts that. It will be.
I don't think it will be.
I think it will be. Bonnie is saying he doesn't think it will be.
I don't think it will be.
Oh, it will be. So every time we are running anything, the first thing it has to put is this. Then do what we are doing. So it will be up there followed by the output. Hey.
You see, so it's something.
No,
So
it
something.
did it the moment you ended. It printed that. After the end, it ran it immediately at the end of
So
that.
this here it is.
Yeah. So it doesn't run for the instances. When you call a method on the instance, it won't run. But the moment you finish creating the class, it runs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So does this mean that when you inherit from C, you can create a class D, then inherit from C?
So I have a class D.
Inherit from C.
Yeah.
And
then I put a sum.
No, just end. We see if it will print the DSF, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't. No.
So this is just for like this class. It acts like a, does it act like a class method in this case? Okay, I think good. It was a good one. What have we concluded in this case? I'm thinking like this one is a class D we have inherited from C, which in C we have this put S, but notice after creating the class, it hasn't printed it out. Okay. Nothing. So this is only printed the moment we end our class definition. So we are inheriting from C. That is x dot dot p dot p. Yeah. Okay. Because D inherits from C and C includes module A, and the method P is in the module A. Any questions up to there? Hey. Okay. So our modules in class hierarchy, the bit that I was saying, so in class hierarchy, like you were saying, there is a, let me go. I have a class C. Really? Huh. Okay, so when I was talking about this one here, how the method lookup, for example, when it misses it from the class we have defined, any class we define is superclass is object, so it will come to this point, and the object class usually includes the kernel module. If you check at, let me check at. So I want the object class. So if you go to, we have constants, we have, you can see the included modules in the object class. Yes. You can see this one? Yes. Yeah. So yeah, the kernel module is included in the class object. So its methods are available in every Ruby object. So that is what is happening. Yeah, so the object, so if you go to the object class, they've included this kernel module. So most methods are inside the kernel. Okay. defining same method more than once. So we have an account module. It has a register method. Then we have a user class. We have included the module. Then we have defined a method register, which was inside the account module. Then at this point, we are instantiating the user class. So the way now the method lookup, like I was saying. So for example, this one, A is an instance of the user class. So the way it will go, it will check, oh, sorry, A is an instance of the user class, yeah. Then this method register, is it available as an instance method in the user class? Then it finds it. So that is what it will work with. If it did not find it, it goes to the account module. It could have now executed this one. But in this case, it found the register method inside the user class.
Kevin,
yes.
So basically you mean that if you're looking up for a method, then it checks on the class if it has it. If the class doesn't have it, it checks if the class has any modules.
Yeah.
Now, if it has any modules, does the module have the method? If not,
if not,
it checks on the superclass.
It checks if the class has a superclass.
Has a superclass. If
Yeah.
it has a superclass, it checks if the superclass of that class has that method.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it goes to the superclass of that class and repeats.
Yeah, checks if the superclass
Checks
has
if that
modules.
superclass has the module.
Yeah.
Has the method. If not, does it have a module?
Yeah.
If it has a module, does the module contain? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Limeka.
Okay.
If you've made me forget.
Okay.
No, yes, I've remembered. If my register method is in the class it has inherited it from, and it does something different from what is in the module.
Good one.
What happens then? Does it override, or is the module then supposed to override, or do they both print?
So it's like you're saying, like, for example, here I have a user class. So assuming I'm inheriting from another class, which has a register method. So user class inheriting. So like we were just saying, we just finished some minutes ago. The register method, it will first check the user class. If the method is not there, it checks if the class has module, any included module. If there is an included module, then it checks if the method we are calling is part of the module or is in the module.
So the class is preferentially discharged ions.
Hey, okay. So there is that now that method lookup. It has to go through. That is the, like, for example, if I want to go to the gate, I have to go through this door first. Yeah, I want to go to the kitchen first. Come back. There is nothing I'm going to do, or I can't go through this side. Yeah, I have to go stepwise. Like, so there is that like order that it will check if the method is available. Initially, I'll talk of prepend, which now, if you use prepend now doesn't check the. Okay. Prepend, actually, there was the prepend bit. Okay. So, but are you okay up to this point? Yes. Okay, thank you. We have mixing two modules with the same method. So I have two modules. They have the same method. Then I'm including both of them in a class. Awesome. So let me do this practically. So I have a module. Let me just use module A, module B. I'm saying. Okay. Yes. Modules have a class C. I'm including module A. I'm including module B. Then I want to create an instance of C. Then in this case, I want now to call this. Any guesses on the output to this? I was Any output idea on the output we'll get? So what happens is that in this case, we check for the recently included module, which is like the last module we included. Like in this case, if I have include A and include B, which is the recently included module? Yeah, so that's where it will first check. So for example, in B, we have that, which is, any questions? So the most recently mixed in module, if it happens to contain the same method as the one in the module that is mixed in earlier, then the newly mixed module is like takes precedence over the new module. Because the one, the recently included module is the one closer in the method lookup. Like is the one closer in method lookup, that process we were saying after checking the instance, checking modules.
Can you check the method lookup for the class that we've had right now? If you go to the terminal, we can check the method lookup for, we can see.
So, for example, we can now check for the ancestors, yeah? So if we check for example, now if I check for ancestors of C, I'm expecting module B, it will start with C itself, then B, the module, then A. Okay, if I do this, though this was is in the next bit. So you can notice this order here. So this order just involves the method lookup, yeah?
Now, does this mean that the code is read from down going up?
So, yeah, it's like we are backtracking. We are backtracking to find where like something was stored or defined.
So is it like you're asking when you're looking up for a method, you ask, who came in here last? You. Okay, do you have that method? No. Who followed you? Who you? Do you have that? No. Who followed you? Who mwingine? Do you have that method? No. As you go up.
Yeah. So in this case, like the thing method, it will first check, being that A is an instance of C, so it will first check if this thing method is available, is an instance method in C class itself. So you can see the C starts. Then the recently included module is B, like we said. We can see we have included A, which came first, then included B, meaning the most recently included one is B. So it will first check in B. If it finds it, then executes it. So you can see it first check to C, then module B. Then it will go to A if it misses it in the module A. Then C, it will now check if C has a superclass and the superclass is object. Yeah, then it will go to object. Then that one, don't worry about this one. In IRB, you won't see this. Yeah.
I have
If
a
you do,
question.
yes.
So the
Captain.
code won't run line by line. So
That's why you have control flow.
control flow.
Control flow is there so that you don't run code sequentially. There are if and else statements for that.
Okay.
Okay. I think we have talked of this bit, including a module more than once. So assuming, so I've included account here. I included registration. Then again, I did this. I can try it in. Let me have another class. Oh, hey, it's 520. Okay. I should be summarizing. Okay, let me have a class F. Let me include module A, then I include module B, then I'll include module A again. Then I create an instance of F. Then I call the method. Yeah, so what will happen at this point, the moment you have included A, it's like already the method lookup knows that A already is in the method lookup. So even if you include it here once more, yes, originally we said the method will look for the recently included module first. So you might think of like the output here will be this one here. But if you include a module more than once, the first time you include it, it is already in the method lookup. It's already in that method lookup, or let me say this one here, the order in which it will be looking for the method. So in this case, if it comes to, for example, if we call sing, it will come to the class F. It will find there is no sing method is not in class F. Does F has any included modules? Then it will start. It will see A, but notice A is already, we included it earlier already. So there is nothing that will be done at this point. It will go to B now. Then B, then it will check if it is in B. If it is, executes it. Yeah. Any questions? Okay. So re-including a module doesn't really do anything because the moment you have included it, the first time it's already in the method lookup. Prepend, oh, yes, the prepend. So notice you can use include or prepend to add a module to a class. The difference is when you use prepend, if I had, like, let me use this example. When used prepend, for example, in the method lookup, instead of looking at the class, it will go directly to the module. So like this register method here, A is an instance of user, but it will come to the class, yeah. But with prepend now, it won't check for the class. It goes directly to the module. Okay, let me use prepend. Let me use prepend for another class. Let me call it G. This time, use prepend. You're prepending A. Then let me define sing. Yeah. Yes. blah blah blah. Balala. Okay. And so if I create an instance of G, boom, then I call E. What do you guys think will be the output? Oh, they know. Any ideas? Just us. Bonnie?
Yeah.
Yeah, the output. What do you think will be the output? Yeah. Bonnie was talking, yeah.
The output, I think it's going to be Bala.
Peter? Okay. Ati balala. Oh. Oh, yes. Annabella. Oh, so I said with prepend, the way this will work, if I call sing, initially I said if you use include, it will first go to the class G, check if G has that instance method. If it has, it will execute it. But if you use prepend, sing is an instance of, it's an instance of class G. Prepend will directly go to will check for the modules. We'll check for the module. We'll now not check for the instance methods. So if I do this, I'm expecting what I defined in A, which is module A. Where is module A? Which is ha, and not bala. So if I do g.ancestors, I'm expecting now the method lookup, how it will go here. It will first start with A, not G now. It will now start with the module first, which is A, then go to G, which is now the class.
Kevin, I have something to comment about that.
Yeah.
So when you include a module, you're telling it, this is my class, include the following methods.
Yeah.
So check my class first. If it has it, use it. Otherwise, check on the module. If I prepend, you're telling it, please have the module in here. Please have the module in here, okay?
Yeah.
And use the module. If it's not there in the module, check or if I have it as a class. Otherwise, check on my ancestor. So it changes the order of lookup. When you prepend, it looks up on the module first. When you include, it checks on the class first. That's the only difference.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions up to there? Yes, Justus. On the output, there is an effect on the output because what you are looking for, what you are prioritizing. With prepend, you're saying, I'm prioritizing the module first. Check what is the module. If you don't find it, then now you can come to the class.
Okay.
But you think, yeah.
Another example is if I want 10 bob. So whenever I want 10 bob, where do you check first? Kama uko nao kwa kama hauna audio, unauliza jirani. Now, venye prepend ina work, kama unataka 10 bob, ulizia kwanza.
Ulizia jirani kwanza.
Ulizia uko na 10? Aikwambia ana ndio unatafuta kwa mfuko yako, unatafuta kama iko. Hiyo ndio prepend. Prepend inasema uliza kwanza, alafu ndio
angalie kama uko nayo. Yeah, that's a good one example.
Yeah, Get is a good example of prepending money.
Okay, that's prepared. I think we have talked of the method lookup using ancestors to check the method lookup. Hey, and that's it, guys. Thank you, guys.
For me, I have asked questions. I have conversation.
Yes, you guys for
Thank
asking
you, thank you,
questions.
thank you.
Now go back to San Francisco.
Thank you, thank you. Any questions, guys?
We never mocked you. Go back to San Francisco. Yeah, Peter is tapping. Thank you,
Okay.
Ken.
Okay, so there's a lot in module, like there was that bit of name spacing. Probably maybe another meetup we can talk of that. Yeah, I think the name spacing bit. Yeah, any questions, Bonnie, Peter, anyone?
Okay, there was something that I was still trying to grapple with, the difference between the name spacing.
Peter sasa nimekumiss.
Where Bonnie is talking. Bonnie is asking a question. Bonnie is talking. So the difference between namespace
So there was the namespace, encapsulation, and inheritance.
encapsulation.
Yeah, and inheritance, the way it works. I was trying to really understand it, but
Okay.
I don't know, a little bit, I got a little bit confused, but I think in the next, I think session, if you're going to talk a little bit more in depth about it, or rather, if I am to just research further, just understand how it works, then it will be a mile.
Okay, I think maybe I think we'll talk on a meetup. We'll talk of name spacing modules. Yeah, it's I'm seeing it's an area of interest, and I think with name spacing, I think we'll know deeply how modules work, and we'll also see how if you look at probably Rails, the active record, the way even some they define their classes, like the way you'll understand if I go to, let me just an example. Oh, we'll look that next time. Okay.
I have another suggestion.
Yes.
I have another suggestion. So maybe how about next time, if in case, like for instance, just illustrating how a specific method or maybe specific class is, is used. Would it be like appropriate to even maybe have an already written one, for instance, within a project or a program, and you can just show us and tell us this is how it has been used in this and this and this how it works, like. That would really give a mile,
Yeah, that should be okay. That's a good suggestion. Yeah, we'll implement that. Yeah, just to see where exactly and how in real project scenarios.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that. Yes, Getty. Oh, so next week we'll be talking on about Rails views. So what about? Yes, Deno. Rails views. Oh, we had started on Rails views, but we did finish up Rails views. So we'll continue from where we left on. We were on rendering and stuff. Yeah, what do you guys think we'll do the other meetup? Yes, Crafty.
Name spacing.
Oh, we can. Okay.
Crafty just done. He just did that because of the biscuits.
No.
Yeah, you did that because of the biscuits.
Sigu.
Yes.
Shut up. I don't mean in the next meetup because I know we have Rails and Ruby consequentially.
Okay.
Yeah. So
interchanging.
It will be on the other one. Consecutively.
Oh, so we can continue with that. Assuming, I think. Okay. Nini? So next meetup we'll continue with, we'll do name spacing Module name spacing. Okay, guys, I think that's the meetup for today. Thanks, guys,
Something
for
else.
joining. Yes, Bonnie, something else?
Okay, no, just for the there will be also the okay for the Friday. Will there be Python?
Oh yeah, there'll be Python meetup on Friday. Yeah, there will be meetup on, and also there'll be the hackathon on Saturday. Will you be around?
Okay. I will be in Nairobi, so
there's another bigger hackathon.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I'll miss this one. There's an upcoming massive. Okay. Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, preferentially discharge yourselves, guys. Preferentially discharge.
Okay, bye, guys.